Good morning, class, or good afternoon, or good evening, or good night. Goodness, you guys will be encountering our English 3 course in your own due time. There are no scheduled required meetings. Instead, you're going to be encountering Canvas and the learning materials as is convenient for you. Um, my name is Professor Andrade. I've been teaching English 3 since 1991. So here we go again. This is the first time I've taught it completely online. There will be some sticky moments, I can promise you that. But I wanted to do our first introductory video here, just talking about the syllabus and the class and what I expect from you as students in interacting with me and handling the graded materials, so on and so forth. So let's get ourselves started here. This is English 3. English 3 is second semester, or sometimes called advanced composition. At Dominguez Hills, it's English 111. At UCLA, it was, when I was there, English 4. This is the follow-up to the previous semester. Now we want to show you some more about writing to help you be better writers and better thinkers. Those two things kind of go together. So we're going to be on the syllabus here, the syllabus page. May have to make some quickie changes because I'm going to be really looking at this document through new eyes and hearing some of it. I'm a big believer in having the computer read out loud to me. But this is English 3. We're calling it Investing the Real Mass Media Representation. I'm Professor Andrade. Last name's Portuguese. If you prefer, Mr. A is just fine with me. This is Long Beach City. This is spring of 2021, and this is asynchronous. My office hours here are listed on Thursday as 12:30 to 1:30. I will be there, rain or shine. You may make other appointments to see me at other times because I know some of you are working during the day. We can work out situations where I'll meet with you off hours or weekends. We'll do that by appointment. Now, I've given you two contacts. One is a Hotmail account that I've had for 20 years now, I believe. And I want that to be there permanently because I want students to be able to find me. And students, particularly after English 3, like coming and talking to me, asking for letters of rec when they do well, so on and so forth. And I'm game with that. So I'm giving you the Hotmail address. My Long Beach City, you see here, is connected to my mail. Now, I've been sending out announcements and I've been sending out email blasts. We want to make sure that you're getting them. Through email blasts and through announcements, I'll be telling you if there's a sick day I need, if there's a change in assignment or anything like that. So keep an eye on that. If you did not get the email blasts I have sent, including one that I sent in error explaining this course a bit incorrectly, please make sure that you update your email address with the school. You don't want to have to go looking for emails I send you. Okay, so there's the contact information. A little bit about this course. We are not going to be meeting on at regular times. There are no required meetings at all. If you'd like to come and talk to me, you can do so during office hours. Otherwise, we're going to be simply teaching this through Canvas with lots of videos and lots of links. The discussions will always be live, and you can always check out where we are. Part of this syllabus is the schedule of class, is the schedule for this class. You can check that out at the bottom of the syllabus. The required texts and tools for this class are as follows. Robert Allen's Channels of Discourse Reassembled. That is this book, will be a main book. We start using it in about a month. Before we turn on this book, we'll be doing a lot of internet research. So it's not like you have no reading. In fact, you have quite a bit of reading. It's just that it's coming off the internet from select sites to help you cope with what is going to be some difficult and maybe even mind-blowing stuff. Robert Allen's Channels of Discourse Reassembled. You see the ISBN 13 there. It is a required text. In addition, we'll be dealing in Daniel Chandler's book called Semiotics, the Basics. You see the ISBN code there, and you also see that it is required. And we will also be dealing with Dick Hebdage's Subcultures, the Meaning of Style, with the punk on the front cover. Sometimes this book is black, sometimes it's yellow. It always has a punk on the cover. That's appropriate for this class. What else do we have? Well, we have readings, particularly early on, coming from the web, from handouts that I'll share, Library Reserve. I'm taking things off of Library Reserve for the first time for this class. There's no Library Reserve because of the COVID quarantine, not having access to the library. So we've got that going on. I would also like you to have an MLA handbook, some sort of guidebook for writing in MLA. That is the main format we will be using. We'll be discussing the differences between MLA and APA, as well as other format styles. If you used an MLA book in the past, you can use it again. Just make sure it's as up to date as possible. The one that I use in English 1, English 1 in my freshman comp is Rules for Writers by Diane Hacker. It's got what we need out of it, which is discussion of format, some pointers on grammar and punctuation and so on and so forth. But the main thing we're gonna do is focus on making sure our papers are correct as far as MLA, Modern Language Association format. That's the format with the works cited page is where you put your references, and we use parentheticals within the lines of the text to refer outward to that works cited page. You can use any MLA. You can also do it online, but we need to be writing in MLA. If you have not worked a lot in MLA, if it's a bit of a mystery to you, as it is for many of us, you'll want to get some tutoring. We'll talk about the tutoring requirements, but hey, heads up, if you had problems with MLA in the past, or if you're unclear on MLA or some of the elements, go get yourself a refresher course, go get a workshop online with the Writing and Success Center. I'll talk about the connections for that, what you can click on and who you can see. What else do you need? Oh, you'll definitely need a dictionary. Now you can use the online dictionaries here, Merriam-Webster and dictionary.com. They're generally good. Make sure that you examine the full entry at these online dictionaries because the meanings of the words are sometimes very technical in this course. So you see here that I require, for instance, 50,000 minimum definitions for a good college dictionary. In addition, you will definitely need notebooks or composition books. I'm a big fan of the composition books, as they are known as, this one is a decomposition book because it's made purely out of recycled paper. Lots of greenness here going on. And those are the required tools and texts. Please note that these kick in after about a month. The books that you need are going to be needed after about a month, so you have a little time to shop around. They are older books. They tend not to cost so much. On these 3 books, you shouldn't spend more than $100, I don't think. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but calculating this, it's generally that the Allen book is the most expensive and that Chandler and Hebdige tend to be in the $20 range. Okay, and you'll need those after a month, like I said. All right, so what is this? Well, this is an asynchronous course. We meet online from 11:30 to, from February 8th, that's Monday of the first week, to June 9th. And our final will be on June 9th. The majority of this class is delivered asynchronously, meaning that there's no set time where you must log in for the course material on Canvas LMS. This course does contain optional synchronous sessions occurring on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. There are no synchronous. Here we go. I'm going to edit live my own syllabus. This course contains no synchronous moments. Videos, content will be posted to Canvas on Tuesdays and Thursdays, generally the mornings, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You see me adapting my syllabus as I go along here. During office hours, you need to interact with your classmates and ask questions in real time during what are Zoom meetings. Yes, I will run a regular Zoom meeting every Thursday from 12:30 to 1:30. With the class's permission, I'm going to be posting the recordings of those classes. I'm not allowed to post anything with students' names visible. So generally these Zoom meetings will just be me. I'm trying to think of how I will do my posting. I probably will not post my office hours recordings. If you come join me in office hours, it's just what it is. It's a Zoom meeting, and when the Zoom meeting is done, the Zoom goes away. I'm not likely to post those because of student privacy issues. I can't really be showing students other students' work beyond sharing, obviously, models for essays and processes and things like that. So What is going on here with this course? You can tell by the homepage that we are studying television. That's going to be our subject. Now, many of us will say, but television is so dumb. Why would we want to study it? Well, we want to understand television as a set of processes and theories. We're going to be spending a lot of time reading, applying, and writing about theories involving what we know, how we know, why and how certain elements of our understanding are obscured. The theme is normalization. The issue for us as it stands today is quite directly that we don't talk about the normal, we simply expect it. This class is going to examine the processes that make certain events and certain presentations normal and understandable. This is a study in common sense in a lot of ways. But we're going to examine common sense in a way that makes common sense quite uncomfortable. And that's good. That is definitely good. Pardon me. I was watching a video the other day. I think I might have to show it to you. It's quite good, except for the dude keeps sniffing. I hope it was a cold and not gack, but you never know. We professors have our problems. All right, so the theme of this course is the way television plays a role in creating normal. So we're going to study television from a lot of different angles, I guess, as to how and why it teaches us. How and why it teaches us, particularly what is normal. You will be surprised. Advanced composition, which is what we are here, will focus on multiple theoretical approaches to texts, including multimedia and print reading. We'll be looking at videos. We'll be looking later on in the semester at movies. We'll certainly be looking at news programs, all in this effort to see television as a construct in which we can use theories to unlock what is hidden from us. Advanced composition as a project and an avocation develops smart and substantial theoretical writing. The first semester freshman composition course that you all passed concentrates on gathering and managing the source knowledge. The advanced composition course demands that focus on source authority, then picks up the pace. While requiring research, this course explores the epistemology of sources, the nature, methods, limitations, and validity of knowledge that we acquire. How do we know what a text means? Can we account for other working interpretations? How can we be tricked, keyword, into interpretations that are nonsensical and destructive? More to the point, how should we, as writers, as adults, as citizens, interpret theory and data on the essay page for college classes? Going forward, you're going to be writing a lot about theories. You'll be writing inside theories. You'll be comparing and contrasting theories. You'll be doing a lot of theory work, and we'll be talking about what theory is starting either today or on Thursday. This course is divided into 3 sections. The first section is media effects theory. I'm going to run through a dozen or so theories on what the mass media is. It's not social media. We want to be distinct here. Mass media, television in particular, although we will talk some about radio early on. Part 2 of this course deals in a way of reading, a way of thinking, a theory called semiotics and its developmental twin, structuralism. And part 3, we home in on television itself and the soft power or hegemony of that media outlet. There are 3 multiple choice quizzes here. after each part. They are on your schedule. There are 2 midterms. That would mean two midterms and a final. There are 4 in-class essays and 4 take-home essays. Revisions will be required. Keep backup copies. Our course goal here is an introduction to the elements and uses of critical theory and writing. Okay? I won't read every step of this. You are free to do so as you like. In this course, you're going to learn these practical tools. You will learn to understand the rhetorical nature of texts. You will write using different modes of persuasive discourse. You will know how to examine the meaning and practice of literacy. Literally, how do you come to understand what a text means? Design and conduct research to examine specific case studies. We'll manage documents and files. You'll learn how to examine the rhetorical situation to determine appropriate genres. And you'll identify potential complications in writing context, including ethical concerns that consider different audiences, including primary audiences and secondary audiences, all to understand and create logical structures in text. When I get stuck reading something, I like to be able to hear it. Let me hear this, because I may have to change it.
Identify potential complications in writing contexts, including ethical concerns, consider different audiences, including primary audiences and secondary audiences, understand and create logical structures in text.
Identify potential complications in writing context, including ethical concerns, and consider different audiences, including primary audiences and secondary audiences, to understand and create logical structures in text. I've missed out a couple of prepositions there. My last step in my writing process, which we're going to talk some about writing process today. My last step in writing process is to hear my work. I have to hear it out loud before I turn it in, before I turn it over to an editor or to a teacher. So you'll see me do that every once in a while, read it out loud or have the machine read it to me. What I do is at home, I have my wife is very, very patient with me and allows me to sit while she reads what I've written to me while I have a copy in front of me. And every time she stumbles in reading something to me, I know I have to change what's being read to me. So I make a mark on the page. Just the last step in the writing process before turning it in. You have a typical grade rubric here. You have, then we have class policies. The grade rubric, these are the ways that we come to conclusions about what your grade is. These 5 categories indicate the direction that your paper should go with all the focus and textual evidence and so on and so forth. Let's move on to class policies. You may take this class 3 times. If you do not pass it after the 3rd attempt, you will be either asked to go to get a counseling appointment where you will get permission to take it a 4th time, or you'll be asked to take it at another school. This is California state law that it is now, according to California, you can only take this class 3 times. California used to throw money at us, still does to a degree, but they've decided that they won't throw money at you the 4th time you try a course. It's just throwing bad money after bad money. Throwing good money after bad money. I'm sorry, I got my old saws all mixed up. All right, annotating texts and tracking daily lessons. Please note that before we even get there, that this class requires a great deal of work outside the classroom, outside of my lectures, outside of the video presentations. 4 to 8 hours. Basically, it's an hour for every hour in lecture, up to 2 hours for every hour in lecture. Depends on whether you're working on something or just reading, an hour to 2 for every hour of online lecture. Tracking lessons and annotating your textbooks. We need you to write it down. We want you to notice what you've noticed. If you got through English 1 or 101, 110, whatever it was that you took to get here, we hope that you learn to annotate with topic sentences and thinking about how topic sentences are supported and developed through paragraphing. We'll talk a little bit about that. Review your lessons from English 101, paragraphing, thesis statements, the usual things that matter. I will also be grading how you mark your books. I will ask you to photograph certain pages and upload them to the discussions or assignments, depends on the tab. And I will give you points for showing me how your annotations go on particular pages. Your bottom line is that you need to be writing things down. I want you to make sure that you have an open notebook with you when you write, when you're listening to my lectures, when you're reading. You need the space to create and understand what's going on. So let's make sure that we are taking notes. Now, class policies, participation and courtesy. I may have to change little bits here. Let's see how it is. The course material should be considered adults only. We'll be watching, reading, and discussing graphic material. Keep your wits about you and listen to the wisdom of your classmates. Of course, you will be given the time and space to express your views. We will use chat. We will use discussions. We'll use a lot of threads. We work together, and thanks to COVID, we work online. In doing so, we help each other keep up, organize details, and track lessons, tests, and essays. Working in small groups is key to success and enjoyment. Therefore, stay in contact with your group. Participation in discussions and workshops is the heart of the course. Working with classmates on this material is not for extra credit, any more than a second leg is some kind of special gift. You can even meet in the Writing Center through Zoom for pre-writing and studying lessons. If you get stuck, I want you to use your Writing Center, use the resources campus has. This is a key factor in surviving. If you survived English 1, you probably learned a little bit at least about the Writing Center, about using tutors. You'll still need that very same thing. We depend on you to keep up with us. During Zoom meetings, don't text or use social media or play games. The consequences will be unbearable. Respect your fellow students. We want to show our knowledge before we show our egos. Your professor may exclude continually disruptive students. If there's a student who's making a mess of things, I can't think of, well, there would be ways of doing it here on Canvas. Since we're not doing live meetings, we won't see that kind of mess. I will say that since I started teaching English in 1989, I've never actually had to use the exclusion to remove a disruptive student. Usually after a time or two and a discussion or two, people straighten up and fly right. But I want to keep this in my syllabus just in case it ever does go that far south, and just in case it ever goes that sour. You will not be signing in at the beginning of class. We have no attendance requirement. You should know that missing 3 or more classes significantly lowers your odds of passing this course. So skipping over video lessons will be dangerous. We don't want to miss more than 3 classes. This holds up with IRL classes IRL versions of this class, as well as in online. All right, and you see here your grading percentages. The top one here is 3 trips to the writing center to help you with your writing. It could be a workshop, it could be a tutoring session, it could be group work, but you need to go to the writing center, do it online at least 3 times this semester, and that will give you 5%. And you see textbook annotation and homework and notebooks, that is 5%, and you see all the rest here. The total is 100%. Generally speaking, the way that these are weighted is the later in the semester they are, the more they are valuable. This allows you to recover from weak starts and have a shot at passing, even if you're doing D work mid-semester. 2 notes. One, it's numerically impossible to pass this class unless you pass the multiple choice quizzes. Second note, all essays must be turned in on time. I'm going to change. I'm going to change this. No emailed, no late essays. We're going to be using. We'll turn in our essays through the Canvas. Through the Turn In app here on Canvas. We don't want late papers. We don't want email papers. Okay, they have to go through the Canvas, through the Canvas, through the Turnitin app. Okay, there's your writing center assignment, that 5% that's at the top of the grading percentages. You can see how that works. Suggested activities include get in there by week 3, come back by week 6, come back again by week 10, but feel free to use it anytime you get stuck. Okay, and you can use it for DLAs. There are no English 3 DLAs, but you can review old DLAs to help you with thesis statements and paragraphing and MLA format and so on and so forth. There's designated directed study groups, which again, you can do that by Zoom. There are workshops by Zoom. All of these will get you 1 visit to the writing center. And if you get 3, that's 5%. Plagiarism, we want to avoid plagiarizing. Turnitin gives me quick access to materials within your essay that come from other essays. You can't cover that up. You can't hide that. That's plagiarism, and we strongly discourage it. At UCLA, during my experiences, anyone who plagiarized was removed from the college, was removed from the university. So we're serious about that. Final note here before we get to a discussion of student resources. The ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act. With the passage of federal legislation entitled the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, there is a renewed focus on providing this population with the same opportunities enjoyed by all citizens. As a faculty member, I am required by law to provide reasonable accommodations, that's the key phrase, to students with disabilities, as not to discriminate on the basis of that disability. Student responsibility primarily rests with informing faculty of their need for accommodation and in providing authorized documentation through designated administrative channels. Information regarding diagnostic criteria and policies for obtaining academic accommodation can be found at this wonderful University of Texas Arlington site, as well as through, of course, LBCC's Disabled Student Services Office. If you have used a academic accommodation in the past, I want to urge you to at least consider using it again. If you have had a note taker, find yourself, tell me about it. We'll get you a note taker. You can also, like I said, find one for yourself within class. You're going to get to know your fellow students here. If you've had extra time to take exams, I would need to know that too. Basically, it comes down to this. Anything that blocks you from being able to pass this course smoothly is something that I'll want to know about. Whether it is a learning disability or real life block. Hey, we're going to be here for 15 weeks. That's like 4 months. In 4 months, life changes incredibly much. We're going to have breakups. We're going to have firings. You know, life comes at you fast. It goes that way. And many times these problems can get in the way of our learning. And I want to know about this. I want to know if you're having problems. I don't really care. It's private between you and me, whether it's a problem with depression or psychosis or job stress. If anything is going on that blocks your ability to pass this class, I want to know about it. Okay. My door is open. I put this out there and point out that between now and June, life is going to throw some hassles at you, some stress at you, because I went through it too, and I still go through it. But while I was at UCLA, in the 5 years I spent at UCLA, I ended up having to drop or take incompletes in 3 separate quarters for a variety of reasons. One time for simply I couldn't afford to be in college. I had to go to work. It happens. My teachers were very supportive of me. I want to offer you that same support. Other times I had to drop out because I was too severely depressed. I couldn't get out of bed. I was a classic depression case. If these kind of issues come up and it's blocking you from enjoying the course and taking part in the course, more importantly, will want to know about it. My door is open. Your privacy is assured. And let's talk if you get stuck. We want to talk anyway, but if you get stuck, my door is open. Let's talk. Here comes your student resources, including food and housing programs. There's the campus police and emergency resources. There's the student code of conduct. There is Title IX reporting issues policy for any sexual misconduct. We would know about that. And there's the ADA statement at the end of the semester, in addition to my own. And then we have our daily schedule. Now, at the top of our daily schedule, in each part, you will find websites. These websites will help you cope with what's going to be a blizzard of knowledge coming at you, a blizzard of information and theory coming at you in the first couple of weeks, in particular until we settle into semiotics. I'm going to present to you in the first 6 weeks 13 ways of looking at television, 13 theories of television, okay? Let me take some things off here because we've done that. I'm changing the required essay. And there are these URLs here. These URLs break down everything, every theory that I speak to about in these first 5 weeks. Okay, so make sure that you get to them, that you explore them. They were working about 6 months ago. Hopefully they are still working. We will check them out as we go along. There we go. Course introduction is today with your contacts and your overview and rules. We're not going to be doing an in-class evaluation essay. Thursday, we will begin discussing theory. And then we'll move quickly through the set of 12 or 13 theories about what television is and how it works. Um, this course treats television the way a biologist treats new species. We want to understand what feeds it, what it does, how it breeds, so on and so forth. And we'll be doing a lot of theories. There's a lot of theories to recognize and to know how to apply. We'll talk about what a theory is in the next class. What else? Well, you see the rest of this. Tuesday, June 8th is our final. Let me update my syllabus. And there you go. Looks a little cleaner. Reads smoothly if you're a blind student and having to use the software. It should read smoothly with not a lot of space. Thank goodness for the accessibility checks so we can get rid of that crap. Anyway, I wanted to thank you for sitting for this particular discussion of the syllabus. I will have a second recording for you to encounter through either YouTube or through Canvas. And that will be day 2, and I'll do that on Thursday. And we'll wrap up for the day. Get your books ordered online. All your tools required. Make sure that you have a notebook. Your first notebook-worthy presentation comes on Thursday. It'll be about what theory is and how do we know what is, what things are, and so on and so forth. So your assignment, get the books. And we'll wrap up this particular presentation. I appreciate everything that you guys are doing and dedicating yourself to this course. I want to welcome you. I hope my voice isn't terribly irritating or my speech patterns totally alienating. I guess that's about it. All right, so that wraps us up. Thank you so much, and we will talk on Thursday.